Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been about a month since I last did my half grow tent update, and so figured I'd do this half of the tent again. There's been a couple things that have changed, but a lot of it's just things are growing. But yeah, let's get started with the tour. So if you've watched the other video, these are my Parvisepalum Paphiopedilum orchids. So Micranthum, Paphiopedilum, Micranthum, 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 and then I have two Paphiopedilum Armeniacum, which are the bright yellow Paphiopedilum. So I guess these things are really slow, so even after a month, it's kind of hard to see too much growth, but this one is putting on some good size, especially this fan here. This thing sprouted a new leaf. And this thing also sprouted a new leaf. Same here. And this one has two growths coming. So really looking forward to this thing recovering. One thing I do want to show you is I've kind of fallen in love with this deli container pot. So let me just show you the roots. You can see they're also a big fan of these deli container pots. So the roots are going absolutely crazy in here. So highly recommend using them. And what I do is I just stab a few holes in the bottom, and then I just fill it with my mix. Yeah, here's another. So you can see how the roots are just wandering like crazy in the pot. I keep these guys really wet, so never dry. Even though it's winter now and the nights get pretty cold in here, never dry. Always wet. You see this moss is growing on the surface. I'm trying to get this moss to cover the surface of all the pots. As you can see, I started spreading it around. But yeah, these are my Parvisepalums. Love the leaves. They're so pretty. These patterns, and they're kind of satisfying to touch too. They got some like they're very thick, and they got a nice like matte texture to it. I don't know, it's nice. But anyways, moving on. This is from my recent unboxing video. This is here. It says Sophronides coccinea xanthoglossa, but it's now Cattleya coccinea. So this should be I guess it's xanthoglossa, yellow flower. I've never grown a Cattleya orchid, believe it or not. So this is the first one I've grown. I have this in a pot. Hopefully it'll do well. It looks like it's recovered from shipping, at least. The leaves are firmed up again and not super sad and wrinkly, but still no signs of active new growth. But that just might be because they're slow. And the reason I have it up here is because I think it likes brighter light, and so it's right under these LEDs here. But yeah, happy how this thing is settling in. So I talked about this community pot of Paphiopedilum micranthums again last month, and yeah, like I said, they're really slow. So if you look back at the video a month ago, you might actually notice that they're quite a bit bigger this month. But me looking at them every day, honestly feels like they look the same every day. One thing I do note is the crazy root growth again. From this deli container culture. Let's see if I can show this. You see that root growing down from that little one there? Pretty awesome. Another thing I wanted to note, this one here has no pigment on it, and it's a little slow. So could it be an albino plant? That'd be pretty awesome if it was. Those things are really rare, and kind of crazy expensive to actually buy one. So it'd be nice to get one from a lottery draw like this from the gene pool. So this here is Dendrobium Cuthbertsonii white, and again, this is from my last unboxing video from Equigenera. Again, orchids are slow, so you won't really see too much settling that quickly. It's only been like a week. But one thing I do note is I think I grow this a lot brighter than they did at the Equigenera nursery, because some of the leaves are getting a little pale, might be a little scorched. And so they used to be here, and now I've moved it here, so it gets a little more shade. So these are my Dendrobium Cuthbertsonii seedlings that I deflasked a while ago. And again, yeah, everything just is kind of growing in. This one's going nuts with a bunch of new growths. Same with this one, a bunch of new growths. And the roots are kind of just like going crazy. Hindsight, probably should have put them either just in a pot or on a bigger mount, because they're kind of all sticking together now. And I'll have to figure out how to gently tease these apart when I start selling them / giving them away to people. But yeah, growing in really nicely. Hopefully we'll see some flowers soon. And then this is just like the rest of them that didn't fit in. I didn't have enough mounts, so they're just in this pot. This one looks like it's climbing out, but it should be fine. Forgot to mention this one, Dendrobium hacuense. I believe it has a dormant period because it just started losing leaves like crazy, but the plant, like the roots are all fine, so I think this is normal. I reduced the watering a little, and it should induce flowers in the spring. Again, I'm not too familiar with growing dendrobiums, so still learning that. This one is Dendrobium Subuliferum. It's like a big white flower. Yeah, no flowers on this yet, but it's settling. There's a lot of new growths, and the roots are penetrating into the tree fern really nicely. You can see there. So good stuff. All right, here's where some of the action is happening. There's a lot of cool things going on down here. Just looks like the lens is a little blurry, so I give it a little wipe. My screen might just be dirty. That's okay. So I actually missed this one. This one is Masavalia discordia. I should have updated on this because I see this dead spike here. It actually bloomed throughout the duration of October, and I never talked about it. So I mentioned it was a weird looking flower, but there's another bud here, so when this opens, I'll make sure to show it off, because it's like, it looks kind of crazy. It's really weird. Down here, we have Pluralis phylocardioides. This one is nicely blooming. And like a lot of Pluralis species, this thing just kind of blooms like over and over and over on the same leaf. It just so happens that this little flush of flowers all came out at once, so kind of nice that it did that for me. This guy back here, I don't remember these names too well because they haven't flowered yet. Masavalia helgi. But this guy has a little spike. That's a terrible angle. A little spike right there. And then there's also one somewhere in there. Okay, just believe me when I say there's two spikes. But yeah, honestly, I don't even remember what this flower looks like, and I kind of like that I don't remember, because I can be surprised by it when it opens, and then relearn what it looks like. But yeah, really cool. This is a terrible spot for this thing because there's so many delicate little things growing in the way. So I'm actually not going to put this back now. I'll put it back once I'm done this video. Here's a cool one, Masdevallia maxillax, or maxillax, I don't know how people say it. But I think it's liking the cooldown in the fall because it's putting out a ton of flower spikes. And I mean, look at that, it's so cute. It's like a little Cheeto. It's like the color also kind of reminds me of creamsicle popsicles. I don't know if people have had them, but yeah, very, very attractive little plant. That is going nuts for me this month. Here we have, I think I called this Pluralis Superioris last month, and I've recently found out that it's actually no longer Pluralis. It's now been reclassified as a Stelis. So here is Stelis Superioris, and it's getting ready to put on a huge show. So this thing blooms sequentially or successively, just one after the other. So you can see this flower spike here has had 6 blooms in the past, and it's still going. And so when I say there's going to be a big show, it's because there's a spike here, there's a spike here, and here, and here, and oh, that one's getting bent. Yeah, like there's just a ton of spikes. So when this thing goes in full bloom, it's gonna be awesome. Awesome to look at. Moving on, my Lepanthes are all doing great. Okay, except for this one, getting a little sunburnt. So thinking I might have to move it down a little. This is Lepanthes gargoyla, and I thought that it would be fine with the same light as pubescens and tomentosa, but I guess it's a little more sensitive to light. Speaking of tomentosa, this one is in bud and really close to blooming, so I'm really excited to seeing what that looks like. It's probably very similar to pubescens, but the leaves I think are a little more satisfying to touch, to look at. They're a little thicker and the hairs are a little shorter. This is Lepanthes May Yaora. Actually got a cultural award for this thing last month, so very exciting. This thing is always in bloom, and there's like 50-60 spikes on it, and it's making like 7 or 8 new leaves at a time. So pretty awesome plant, and it's small. So if you like small compact things that bloom like crazy, like all the time and not just seasonally, I'd recommend this plant, Lepanthes May Yaora. This one here, Valianidifica, it's also in spike. I have one in my orchidarium as well. This is actually a division I peeled off of it, but this one's in spike too, so looking forward to that. Just like Lepanthes doing Lepanthes things. And then I got this weirdo here, Masdevallia decumana. This one was from Equigenera, and I really like how intense the leopard patterning is on this, and also the yellow is more a deeper orange yellow than the other ones I have. And so even though the other ones are bigger, this one has a way better color. And so I've actually pollinated this morning, so see if I can get some seed and do some tissue culture with that. More Lepanthes doing Lepanthes things. This is from a flask from Equigenera a while ago, Orchids. Really nice, cute little flowers. You see, here's another one, and here's another one. Oh, this one's not in bloom, but this is also Orchids. Just a really reliable bloomer too, and so another Lepanthes that I'd really recommend. Seems to be a lot easier and not temperamental at all. Very tolerant of being forgotten. This one here, Panthes Minetii. This one is newly described, and it's got a bud right there. So I gotta show you a video of that when it opens, because that's really cool. This thing I pulled out of my orchidarium because it was a hitchhiker. Unfortunately, it's not in bloom right now, but I don't actually know. I saw it and I don't actually know what it is, so I'm gonna have to ask around. Maybe I'll post it here too to pull people's minds on what it might be. But yeah, it's one of those underside of the leaf bloomers. So I had a comment asking if all the Panthes bloom under the leaf. Some of them do and some of them don't. So I'll just quickly address that. These do. You see here, Panthes tentaculata, they bloom on top of the leaf. Tomentosa blooms on top of the leaf. But this one here, it looks like there's no flowers. Panthes Leiana. But this one is one that is all under the leaf. So if you turn it over, you can see it's got all these cute little flowers. Yeah, I sometimes forget about this one because it's so hidden in this back corner here, and the flowers under the leaf. But very, very awesome, delicate little flowers. All right, time to wrap this up. This box down here, what's new here? Pluralis Lanop is in bloom for me. Just one spike. I think there'll be more after this, since this is the first time it bloomed. What I've found with these things is they'll bloom once, and then if they make it, like they'll just like go crazy. So if my instincts are correct, this thing will go crazy in a couple months. But I mean, look at it's like such a weird looking flower. And the color, it's not really picking up well on the camera. It's a lot less orange than what you see on the camera. It's like a deep purple. And this here, the lip, it looks like it's like shiny. See that? I wonder if there's like nectar or something. Yeah, again, also this one has really satisfying leaves to touch because they're so thick. Alright, these guys are fine. And here's the last thing I want to show you. This is also from my last orchid mail video. This is Pluralis Inornata. And I don't know what other people see when they look at this flower, but I see a person with their arms up in the air. It's very, very, very cute little thing. Anyways, that just opened yesterday, so really, really happy to see this thing. No, I stopped filming, but very, very happy to see this thing flowering. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it if you could leave a like or a comment and subscribe to my channel for future videos. See you later.